Check it out, Tom. Watch what happens when they give GPS a budget. Special effects. Everybody's like, this show is so good, but it needs some special effects.
Oh? Closer? Can you go closer? There it is. I want to see inside your eye.
Look, you can see the screens in my eyeball.
Can you do the whole show like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
Perfect. Welcome to GPS. You'll never be comfortable again.
That's actually a good slogan for our show.
Yeah.
A lot more fitting than navigating.
We here.
We still
Didn't even touch my hand. You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Yeah. That's, yep. It's a
like
Friday show. We're talking about the NFC South. Nothing is going to go well.
Nothing will ever go well on this show. That's our promise to you, the listener.
True. Hey.
You think you're going to have fun? You think you're going to learn something? Not on this show.
No.
We're going to evolve into just...
I did 6 years of teaching. We don't need to teach people things anymore.
Yeah,
No.
Nobody even wants to learn.
No.
People want to be dumber.
Unlearning right now.
Yeah. There's a few things I do want to talk about today before we even get to the NFC South. Some actual football things. Starting to get my juices flowing, Tom.
Dude, I was just about to say, so being able to talk about the Packers and doing like a skit yesterday, I was like, oh, this feels good. Because I'm not going to lie. These reaction videos are like killing my soul. Because I'm like, all right, it's so long now. Like, I just got these teams left. I just got to get them done. They take all day to do. So I wrote out the Patriots one. Like, it's all done. I'm going to put it out today. I have to just film it and edit it. But I was like, no, I want to make a Jordan Love skit. And that just felt so good. It felt so... I got to try out new equipment. It was good. It was good. Let's go, Brandon.
We have a big announcement, too.
Oh, yeah. You're finally getting the leg extensions you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Like
you're going to be able to ride all those roller coasters now.
Like in Gattaca. Was it Ethan Hawke? Had his legs lengthened in Gattaca?
Sounds about right.
Right?
Thank you, JC.
So he could look like, who the fuck was the other guy in there? Handsome man. The handsome man.
LL Cool J.
No, British actor, handsome. Who's the other guy in Gattaca?
William Dafoe. Jeremy Irons.
Nope.
John
Jude
Travolta.
Law. I think it was Jude Law.
Jude Law was my next one.
Yeah. God, I got to rewatch Gattaca is what I'm learning. Is it Jude Law? Yeah, it is Jude Law. Yeah, okay.
Gattaca!
Oh, they got Dean Norris is in that? Didn't even know who he was when I watched that movie last. Okay.
It's been a while.
Anyway,
you're using the
GPS is available as a podcast. That's what I was going to say. We finally did it, everybody.
You've been asking for years, literal years, and we're like, and now it's done.
Like,
and now we can never get bothered about it again. It's on the Spotify's. It's on where all the other podcasts are. You can listen to it. So if you're like, you know what? I love the show, but I really don't want to look at them, then this is perfect for you.
Yeah.
It could not be better. You never have to look upon us, though I'm pretty sure on Spotify it's a video podcast too. So maybe just put it to the side.
I don't know if it is video on Spotify yet or not. Is it?
It is. I'm pretty sure. I can pull it up.
Interesting. Yeah, so there's links in both of our descriptions to the podcasts. I think the two links are to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts. And I think you guys know how podcasts work.
Never heard of it.
You got to go in. You got to give us the reviews on it, the stars or whatever bullshit they do on podcasts so we can start to pump that stuff up. Obviously, we still want you here on YouTube live with us. But if you're in the car, you're driving, you can finally listen to this sweet voice just penetrating your ears ever so gently. And our friends over at Seven Eckies are helping us do that. They produce the Bad Friends podcast, which is way more popular than ours at this point. But
Sure.
we're getting some help, so it's nice. They're gonna help post and publish and tell us what to do. So we just now, if you want to listen, you can. It's available.
There you go. We're not going, but we are streaming that game together.
Yeah, we'll stream that game.
We're streaming that game together. So that's Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live, and we will make it much more of a bigger deal than it needs to be.
Yeah. Maybe we can have the most streamed preseason game of all time. Ooh. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Hey, Hollow, it's going to be about, we're going to talk about the NFC South. Don't you worry. We going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I think the Falcons are going to win.
Do you guys like me? He's hot and he's cold. He's yes and he's
no. You're in and you're out. You're up and you're down. It's wrong when it's right.
Do automatic. I did want to ask you one question before we get into everything today. And I just need to know so I know how to handle this down the line. Have you ever fornicated a couch, Tom?
I'm not JD Vance, no.
Have you ever
Okay, can we
fucked
talk
a couch? Have you ever fucked a couch?
No. Can we talk about this though? Because I had to explain this to somebody who's like, because I feel like it's a Twitter thing. I really feel like it's a strong Twitter thing. And I literally turned to someone who's not on Twitter and I was like, do you know about this couch thing? And they're like, no. And I'm like, it has been the funniest meme that has like no basis of truth. And it is honestly hysterical.
Yeah.
Like it is hilarious. The amount of like the election cycle, while as depressing as it is, and as like, oh God, the memes have been like, we are the violinists on the Titanic, just making it a nice, comfortable descent into the cold ocean.
Yes.
It's been good.
Which NFL quarterback is most likely to have sex with the couch? We'll answer that question after our next break. Who's a couch fucker? Which quarterback's a couch fucker? That's what we got to find out, Tom.
Tim Couch.
Oh, I mean, it's in the name. That's yeah.
I mean, if we had to think of a starting quarterback in the NFL right now,
it's Russell Wilson. Come on, man.
Why would Russell have sex with a couch?
Because it would give him an edge. He would, if you told Russ, all right, you see this sectional, all you got to do is make love to it, and it's going to make you 3.5% better at football. He would do it, and he wouldn't ask any questions.
My question is, okay, because I'm trying to go for the practical. It is very fun. I'm going for the practical answer because I'm like, okay, I know he's not starting anymore, but is it Phillip Rivers as practice?
No. He wouldn't have the energy.
Not wasting it. Yeah. I get it.
He likes to save.
Yeah, don't want to waste it. Yeah, I get it.
When he releases, they've got to do the Lord's work.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
What's
starting QB?
Who's most likely to have sex with a couch?
I mean, like, is the easy answer Aaron Rodgers? I think you could talk yourself into it. I think if you really try, you could talk yourself into it.
Yeah, I like that one.
Right? I feel like that there's potential there.
Maybe Brock Purdy because he can't afford to purchase a bed.
It's a futon.
He's
like, I'm so lonely at night.
Like,
I'm so lonely. I don't make enough money.
Yeah,
that's fair.
All right, I saw somebody say Dak Prescott. I do want to talk about Dak for a second.
You should, Sean.
When the Chiefs three-peat, will you come to KC to make a video? No. No.
Like, no.
I will not go there. Hey, we beat you last year.
Spencer.
Don't worry about that happening again. I got a new clip for us. I forgot to upload it.
Let's go, Spencer. Let's go. Congrats to you.
I got something.
Let's effing go.
I got something for us, too.
Oh, God. That's never good.
Where are you?
Where are you? I've heard good things. I know. I gotta try to find some time to see it. I really want to. I
I'm
just
so
don't know when.
sorry.
I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. Whoa! Lord Taco winner! Hundo!
Yes!
Fair enough.
Yes, Lord Taco! Oh, do you know how many tacos I could buy with that?
We need to have a taco clip. I feel like maybe I don't want to overextend here because it is our show. I think Lord Taco deserves a taco clip.
You are actually right.
I'm actually right? I feel like that was offensive the way that you presented that.
You, for the first time, are correct.
It's getting
Oh,
worse.
God. I need to create space to upload this clip.
Just delete something. Don't delete that
Next-
Vikings crying clip.
Next time I eat a taco, I think I'll just get a video of me eating the taco for Lord Taco. All right,
Okay.
I deleted an image. Let's see if we can get this. All right, there we go.
All right.
We got to clean out some clips. That is another thing we need to do.
Hold on, I'll give you Scooter LA.
Johnny John John!
All right. Check it out. Here's my head coach, baby.
That's it.
Just a nice long pause. Worked for Dan Campbell. It's going to work for Sean Payton. God, I love you, Lord Taco. I've missed you, Lord Taco. Oh, okay.
I can't.
Dak Prescott. Let me get the Twitters up here.
Oh, what's the best besides FTR? You like the what is it, Cole's? You like Cole's coffee, right? Appreciate you, Wesley. Right? Didn't you say like his is really good or Trees is really good?
I mean, yeah, they're all good. They're all good. Cole has a medium roast. It's a very nice flavor profile.
Roast?
But honestly, Adams, the 5 points blend, it's a light roast. So people are a little turned off by light roast. They think it's not going to have as much caffeine. That's all a bunch of bullshit. Flavor-wise, I still think Adams has the best. I don't have one of his bags here. But the 5 points blend, robust, rich. If you like the dark roast, Trees is the other dark roast. So it's just kind of like what you're into, you know? What's your fetish?
Yeah. Canales can maybe save him. I think so.
Right.
I think Canales could maybe save him. Might be a long season still.
Yeah, I saw Dave Canales put out a thing about his schedule, the work schedule for the coaches and the team. And they have mandatory times they're going to be done each day so they can go home and be with their family. I thought that was pretty cool. Because most coaches are like, you will not leave this facility ever.
Yeah.
You better get used to fucking couches if you want to coach for this team.
Not wrong. Not wrong. Yeah, Badgley out for the season, had an injury. Yeah, Jake Bates. Come on down.
Yeah, that sucks for Badgley.
It does.
I had a feel. I think he was going to lose his job to Jake Bates anyway because Bates was that good in the UFL this season.
He was
blasting those 60-plus yarders, and he's been good at practice. So terrible for Badgley, but I think this is a great opportunity for Bates. All right, here, I'm trying to find. Okay, I wanted to play this Dak clip.
Jerry would have finished. For the kitty. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was at Lions training camp yesterday. He's just running the gauntlet. It was just in Milwaukee, so just gotta go right over. That's it.
I wanna be a Hulkamaniac. Have fun with my family and friends.
That's not the.
If you want to be a Hulkamaniac, listen up. I'll tell you how to stay on track. Remember that? Remember that album? Hulk Hogan had a whole CD.
I know, but that's not his theme song.
It was on the CD.
I know he was on the CD. Okay.
You ain't a real wrestling fan unless you have the CD.
You want to go into Hulk Hogan lore? All right. How about this? I'll try this one off the size. You ever see Thunder in Paradise? It's an old TNT show. It was a movie too. It was old TNT show starring Hulk Hogan, and it was basically Knight Rider with a boat. True story.
And obviously, I want to be here.
Can anybody hear this?
About growing up,
I can't hear it.
This is where I've become a man. So
It's super quiet.
It's very
I
quiet.
won't play the fucking clip then.
Terry, hold on, I appreciate you. I'll give you the best clip that I know. Actually, hold on.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
Ooh, yes. All of the sound bites are there.
Top notch. Top notch. Go ahead, Perna. You want to talk about Dak Prescott?
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Terry.
Just go watch this clip. I
Deserves
should have
it.
ripped it, boosted
Deserves
the audio. It's super quiet. I don't know if you can hear it. But he was asked, I don't know, about his future or something. And I thought his answer was interesting
Yes.
because I don't think you really get this honest of a response. It's rare, especially from a quarterback. Especially when they're asked about their future with the team, when they have been the franchise guy. Everybody expects them to stay there. And there have been rumblings that this could be Dak's last year with the Cowboys, right? And these are mostly from desperate fan bases. The Broncos fans are like, ooh, maybe we get Dak Prescott next year. Maybe we're just clearing up space for Dak Prescott. We drafted Bo Nix. We're not going to need him. He's going to save our team. But he did not say he is definitely going to be in Dallas until he retires. And he said he said all. You shouldn't have used the word all there, but all the great QBs I watched played for other teams. So he's probably referencing, Manning, Brady, Stafford, Baker Mayfield,
Rodgers now,
Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre. Lot of really good quarterbacks.
definitely not John Elway.
Rivers did it. But I think it's alluding to that. There's a little bit of uncertainty, and I think, and we saw the last show, Cowboys got a lot of guys to pay right now. Dak,
Yes.
Micah, CD, all of them want max money. But just listen to him talk about it, because I think I saw somebody in the comments say that Dak said the quiet part out loud, and he's just like, I don't know. Like,
It might not be my decision.
It's hard to negotiate these things. I don't know what's going to happen. I do want to be here. I love being here. But for me, I would have said like Dak leaving Dallas was a very slim possibility, because historically Jerry pays guys, especially guys he likes. We all know he loves Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't get another contract done with Dak.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's for him to say, like, it's not my power to do so. Might not be my decision. I think like that's the first time where you're looking at it and go, oh, like Dallas might not pay him. Like this could be a pivotal year for the Cowboys, because there could be a lot of changes. You could look at head coaching changes, potentially QB change. That's tough. I mean, here's the thing. If you're the Cowboys, right? And we talked about prioritizing who to pay first. And you got Micah and you got CD and you got Dak. I would think Dak is going to be kind of a priority because, as you know, Perna, it is very difficult to find a QB with the skill set that Dak Prescott has and to have the production that Dak has. And I know people will crap all over Dak and say, like, he's not going to get him over the he's not going to get him over the top. He's not going to be able to get him to the Super Bowl. But I don't know, man. I think to start from scratch, and even if you pay CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, to find a QB that could get you there while those other guys are under contract in that window, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel like this is crazy and it's not going to happen. But I think like if Shadur Sanders has a good season, I feel like that's the guy Jerry Jones wants to bring in to replace Dak Prescott.
Sure.
You got the Dion connection to Dallas. Jerry wanted Dion bad back in the 90s. Why they got him. If you were to replace Dak, I think it would be for Shadur. Cowboys won't be in a position to draft him, but,
Because whoever, like, if Dak is not there next year, like, there are going to be teams that are going to scoop him up and be yes, we will pay you a lot of money. I don't know. That's tough, thing. Man. That's because Dak is what, 30? What is he, 5?
He's like 30, right?
30. Oh, he's just 30.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think he's an aging QB.
No.
Like, he's 30 years old.
You would be dumb to not get him another 5-year deal if you're the Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we had a whole, where did we have a whole episode where we talked about this? Was that clickbait? It might have been clickbait where we talked all about, like, the Jerry Jones thing.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we have to, like, break it to Scooter that Jerry had illegitimate kids?
Yeah, something
Scooter's
like that.
Scooter's like, what? I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're living a bubble with your Cowboy, Scooter. Oh, no, we also told them that Michael Irvin stabbed his own teammate in the neck with scissors.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I thought Dak was older, too. Yeah, he's only 30.
He's so mature, that's why.
We've just been talking about him forever, too.
All right, the last thing, and this is starting to annoy me, okay?
All right.
This is really so annoying.
Oh, my God. Yes.
And I think I've seen Ben Kurt tweeting about it too. No offense to Ben Kurt and Chase Daniel, all right? But they're both trying to put their claim in that Justin Fields is going to be the starter.
Mm.
And Russell Wilson had a little calf injury, little calf issue. Okay?
True.
Probably had from sleeping on the couch. Little calf issue, so they held him out of practice. Justin Fields got reps with the ones. And there's two things that bother me here. One is former NFL quarterbacks getting jizzed up over a training camp throw. Okay? Yep. A practice throw. This is the most rookie football watching mistake you make, is getting excited about throws at fucking practice. When you watch this, he just said there's just sitting back there. There's no like real pressure. Okay. And yeah, it's a nice throw. Okay. But to see former quarterbacks being like this, let me tell you, Justin Fields going to be starting. That's no shit. There's a great chance he starts this year because the guy in front of him is Russell Wilson. And we've got a lot of tape on Russ over the last 2 years not being great. Also, he's already got a little injury going on the calf. And if we learned anything from Joe Burrow last year, do not underestimate calf injuries because they can linger and they can be tricky little devils.
You know, here's the thing, Brandon, because I've learned too many times. When we watched Mitch Trubisky, right, do what he did with the Bears, and I made a whole video years ago that the reason why the Bears aren't strong, it's not all Mitch Trubisky's fault. Was he the answer? Most definitely not. But good God, they were not helping him out in Chicago. Then he leaves. Then he sits for a while. He played like a couple preseason games, and a couple years passed, and then people are like, Mitch Trubisky could be the guy. Like, you know what? Maybe he's learned now. He sat behind for a while, and there was this hype, and then we saw Mitch Trubisky, and we were like, never mind. You gotta kind of have the same energy towards camp. You remember Calvin Ridley, Perna? You remember Calvin Ridley? And everyone last year was like, oh my God, look how fast he's running in camp. Oh man, look at it. It's like he's playing on a different speed than the rest of these defenders. Tell me how Calvin Ridley's season went last year. And it's not to say that camp means nothing. I'm not saying that at all.
No.
But when we start making claims and overhyping guys to the moon because they throw a nice ball or they catch a ball once and then they're like, yep, this is the end all be all. Don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that trap because it's a slippery slope and usually ends in disappointment.
Every single quarterback that is in any training camp right now can make this throw that Justin Fields just made. I've seen way more impressive throws from Justin Fields in games. And it's just, it's guys trying to get a tweet out right now so they can go back to their tweet and say, see, I told you. I told you.
What I did?
I was first. I was first on it.
He's like, I will be the starter.
Justin Fields
He's
is
probably going to start at some point. He's probably
incredibly
gonna.
talented. He's not perfect. He has the same flaws as Russ. If he gets a chance, he might turn some heads. He might not get a chance.
Sure.
This is when I was saying, like, my juices got flowing. I'm like, what are we fucking talking about? Chase? You know
And
you
also,
shouldn't be
like,
tweeting
let's
this.
talk about Justin Fields, like, very honestly, right? The guy is a playmaker, and he can make really good throws. The problem was accuracy, consistency, and he can't do it all over the field.
Yeah.
Like,
Go watch the Broncos Bears game. And see,
So, like, there's a higher ceiling.
Yeah. Come on now, guys. Let's not just believe all NFL things that happen are just memes.
Matt LaFleur said today, no news. No news.
No news is no news.
I know it was reported. I think it was Rossini who talked about it and said it might be a couple weeks, like a few weeks. I think it's gonna happen next week. That'd be, if I was to take a guess, I think it's gonna happen by the end of next week. That's where I would be. And listen, I booked the interview with Mark Murphy yesterday, so we'll be doing that near the end of August. So if it's not then I'll be asking, where the hell is my Jordan Love contract?
There you go.
Don't worry. All right, Perna, to the NFC South.
Who will win the NFC South?
It's, by the way, the final division that we have to talk about.
Yeah, last one.
The final one.
Panthers. Let's start with the Carolina.
Okay.
Love these ads. All right.
It's true. And a lot were from that one game. What was it, against the Commanders, where he just like went off and destroyed them?
Yeah.
DJ Moore's great.
DJ
Moore's so good.
Was it week 2 when Justin Fields basically threw a wide receiver screen to DJ Moore and he just took it like 70 yards and we're like, oh my God, this is going to be so good.
Let's go. Yeah, over 200 yards. It's true. All right.
Thank you, Andrew. Welcome back.
May
talk
we not
about be dying inside the season.
The good old Panthers.
All right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Real quick. Nay. There is a piece of news we need to talk about, and Rachel just reminded me because I saw Rachel's name. Can we talk about the Kermit Holmes puppet? The Kermit the Frog, yeah. Patrick. Okay. I am actually genuinely curious on your opinion and standpoint, because you're in this division. You hate the Raiders. You hate the Chiefs. So if you did not see this yesterday, so it came out, the Raiders have Patrick Mahomes, Kermit the Frog puppets, and apparently they're sure. Okay, so I have a few thoughts here. I think they also had the shirt too, right? Of the photo of like the ref kissing Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Did I see that right?
I think fans brought these in, right?
Probably. Yeah.
I think they're like interacting with fans, and a fan brought this.
Correct. And then it was like shared that like they're bringing it to practice, and you know, it kind of just took off from there. Yeah. So first of all, Patrick Mahomes is probably going to kill them now. Second of all,
I mean, he was going to do that anyway.
Correct. Second of all, the thing that I am the most disappointed in is that, and Ray, I think Rachel, I think you said this too, that nobody on the Raiders could do a good Kermit the Frog voice. Come on. Like, it's not even good. There's not even an attempt there. Kermit Holmes here. Like, come on. It's not that difficult. Come on. It's disappointing. But yeah, so a fan brought this, right? And then it was recorded, and then it goes everywhere. And then it's like, why do the Raiders have a Kermit the Frog? It's so dumb. This just showed me that we are back getting into football season and overblowing everything, and we could not be more back.
Look how much better the Raiders are against Mahomes. They've beat him one more time than the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
See, now that's dangerous for me to say because the Raiders have won like 7 straight against Denver.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
And that's all it is. You're talking a little trash, you're having a little fun, and it's at the expense of the team that keeps kicking your ass. And that's why you're going to get dragged for doing this. I don't have a problem with it. I think a fan brought it. I think the players are just interacting with the fans.
Yeah, who cares?
having
It's a
fun.
nothing.
I don't think this affects the Chiefs or Mahomes' mindset when he plays the Raiders at all.
They might just pull out a Kermit the Frog puppet.
Yeah.
If they win, they might.
If I had won back-to-back Super Bowls, nothing's gonna faze me. You know, you're gonna have to really go deep to make me go, you know what? I'm coming after that team. I'm coming after them.
Well, if they really wanted to piss off Patrick Mahomes, what
Yeah.
they would do is they would have this, but they'd have a progressive logo instead of State Farm. That's how you really cut it deep and just be like, you know what? I think this is a better insurance company.
Mm.
That's how you
Go after his sponsorship money.
It's true. All right, continue.
All right, where's the
The
depth
Panthers. You're at the
charts?
Carolina Panthers.
Panthers
Okay.
depth chart. Here we go.
So let's talk about the Panthers, because the Panthers, I think the expectations for them around the league with the national media are pretty darn low, right? You saw what they did last year. Wasn't great. Hey, Bryce Young had a great game against Joe Barry's defense. The big thing this year is, let's see what this offensive line looks like, because last year was rough. Did not have a lot of support at all. And is Bryce Young the guy? They bring in Canales, who I really, really like that pickup. I like that a lot because I think he could potentially get Bryce Young to where he needs to be, or at least they could really evaluate his talent and they could see if he's the guy or not. Because if he's not, if he's not good this year, they're going to draft a quarterback. I think that they give up on him 2 years in.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Right? Number 1 overall pick. I think that I could definitely see that happening. So their offense, they got Deontay Johnson.
Yeah. I like what they did.
Xavier.
It's better. Their offense should be improved. Pretty much at every spot. They trade for Deontay Johnson. He's not perfect. He does drop some balls.
He does.
Where we've seen that in the past. But he's a lot more explosive than any receiver they had on the roster last season. He can get separation. They get rookie Xavier Leggett in there. They should be excited about that. And Adam Thielen was their leading receiver last year. He's a little older.
I'm feeling it.
But that's when he shouldn't be your number one guy. And now that he's not, in theory, I'm not so high on those that I'm going to bank on Bryce Young breaking any record. But I'm like, his options to throw to better. They invest heavily in the offensive line at the guard positions in Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis. Hopefully we see Icky play better.
Go back to where he was, yeah.
And he might with a really good guard next to him. So, or did they, he came in from Seattle, right? He wasn't already there and they just paid him. Either way, should be better.
I did. Yes.
Jonathan Brooks like that, but isn't Brooks coming off an injury? Brooks injury update. Let's see here. When is he? Oh, yeah, he had knee injury. Yeah, that's right. November 11th, ACL. So when he'll actually be ready, don't know.
Oh, no. Shy Tuttle.
And they lost Brian Burns on defense.
They did lose Brian Burns.
Sting.
Yes.
Added my man, Josie Jewell.
Mm-hmm. Played well for the Broncos.
One Troy Hill.
It's true. J.C. Horn, godly. Yeah, I think that this is just going to be a figure it out kind of year for them. I do have them finishing last in the division, but the most important thing is that they find out if Bryce Young is the guy or not. I mean, they invested in that defense heavily. What was that, 3 drafts ago? I think it was 3 drafts ago. They really invested. And it's just a young defense. Again, Icky, you got to pray that he gets back to form. And I mean, again, where they were good is they had a strong run game, right? Like that's what made them like solid, and they had a good defense. But right now it's a very young team trying to figure it out with a not great owner. And you hope that Canales is going to be the guy who's going to make things flow a little bit better. Jonathan Mingo, when they drafted him, I was like relatively excited. He seemed like a really solid wide receiver. We'll see what he's going to do this season. Yeah, I think the Panthers shouldn't have any stress of like, hey, we need to win all these games. You just need to find out, who's going to be remaining on this team for this continuous rebuild that they're doing.
I think like my question for Panthers fans is, what do you consider a win for the season? Because the expectations are pretty low. Is it like, do you feel good about 6 wins if you're a Panthers fan?
I think you do. I think you do. Well, again, Perna, I don't even think it's exactly what's said here. I don't even think the wins matter. Because we get a really high draft pick again, which we need anyway because we need to build out our roster. If Bryce Young is your guy, like if he takes a massive step, I think you are the happiest person in the world as a Panthers fan, because then you're like, cool, we got our guy, now we build around him. But now we don't know who we have around him, and we don't know if we have the guy. So, yeah, for me, if I'm Panthers, it's not wins and losses. It's, do you have the right guys on the team? So, all right. Okay. So, do you have them finishing last?
Yes.
I have them finishing last.
I don't think that's a spoiler. I think Panthers fans will agree.
But again,
Panthers fans and Broncos fans are kind of just hoping for the same thing.
Figure out who's the guy.
All right. Interesting. Whoa. Let's go to Tampa, I guess. I put a poll on my page here. Let me check it. The Bucs are leading the poll.
Pretty much.
45% of the viewers believe the Bucs will win the division. 38% on the Falcons, 10% on the Saints, 7% on the Panthers. So dang, that's only 10% Saints over Panthers. Interesting. That's a lot of lack of faith in the Saints.
Let's talk about the mother-loving Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Blew away people's expectations last year. I was very wrong about the Buccaneers. I didn't think that they'd be a good team. First time after Tom Brady, they bring in Baker Mayfield, and they're like, okay, let's see how this goes. Because like maybe they're going to give Kyle Trask a shot. Baker has himself a great season. The game obviously earns $100 million contract, which is well earned. They keep a lot of guys, right? Mike Evans re-signs for 2 years. That's a big signing, right? Bringing him back. Levante David staying with the Buccaneers. And on top of that, they freaking had Graham Barton fall into their lap, which I loved Graham Barton coming out of school. I would love the Packers drafted him. So they shore up the offensive line. I want to see what the running game is going to look like this year. But this is a team that I think are going to be favored to win the division or competing to win the division. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to build on this, because I think the Buccaneers were expecting a little bit of a reload, all right, we won our Super Bowl. Let's see what we got now. And they definitely have some aging guys on that roster, but I don't know, man. Like the Buccaneers are a fun team. Like I don't know if they're Super Bowl bound, but it's definitely win the division.
The tricky thing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in terms of like looking at this season is it feels like they kind of overperformed expectations last year.
Yeah.
And that sets the bar kind of high. So they have to getting like further in the playoffs than they did last year seems almost a little bit unfair to put on them, but that's kind of where the bar is set right now.
Sure.
And they beat the Eagles in the wild card round. A lot to be high on. Mike Evans is so good. They just got great experience at the receiver positions. Their offensive line should be better. And they have a very good offensive line. And then defense, you still got Vita Vea and my favorite guy, Vita
Vea is so good.
Yeah. Whoa, Andrew.
Andrew with a fitting. Boop. Look at that.
Andrew.
Panthers will have a better record than the Broncos.
No, they won't.
Mm.
No, they won't, Andrew.
Mm.
The Panthers better record? Are you kidding me, man?
Mm.
Excuse me, this is the operator, Captain Over. I have an emergency call for you on line 5 from a Mr. Ham.
All right, give me Ham on 5. Hold the mail.
It's an excuse.
I
for
got
an
a new
airplane.
poll.
Let's go, Andrew. Let's go.
Better record. Oops.
Can you imagine? Mm. Mm.
Panthers, Broncos. All right, starting a new poll. Let's smoke some poll, everybody. We got it.
No. You want to know how this is not correct? Ready? The Giants, right? Do they have the right guys? Then they bring in a coach. They do a whole lot better, right? Even look at the Broncos, right? They lived up 70 points in week 3. And then they make some changes. And guess what? They had the right coaches there because that defense got massively improved. So no, you look at the Bears. They didn't have the right guys. They brought in a whole bunch of guys. Justin Fields wasn't that guy. I also don't know if their coach is that guy. So no, for the Panthers, wins and losses do not matter. And also, if you have the right guys, you might not have the right coach. You might not have the right quarterback. You might have the right running back, right O-line, right defense, what have you. But you need to find out if the most important position in football, if you have the guy there. So I don't know.
One thing I do want to thank the Buccaneers for is bringing in Bryce Hall. Having Bryce Hall and Breece Hall both on the Jets roster was just, it was too confusing for me. I'm not a smart man, and I don't need things to make my life more difficult when watching football. And their names were too similar, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Their secondary is still very good. They paid Antoine Winfield Jr., who many think is the best safety in the NFL, if not top 3. That's great. Jamel Dean's good. Zion, I like their back end. You trust that they can get pressure up front.
Yeah, Benjamin.
It's just like they are so close to the same team and maybe a little better on the offensive line. Let's see where Baker starts the season after playing with Tampa for a full year. Like, we forget what he did last year is so impressive because he changed teams so many damn times, so many different offenses, so many different coaches. This is the first time he's had consistency in a couple years. And maybe that's enough to give the Bucs the edge over the other teams in the division.
Very possible. Very possible.
All right. What do we got? What else do we got
so the
here?
Buccaneers, I think they're going to, but for me right now, it's between them and the Falcons.
Up top? Yeah, I
and I
agree.
would have picked the Falcons if they drafted Dallas Turner, most likely.
Yeah.
I'd feel more confident in that. I would have felt more confident in that. But, it feels like the Buccaneers, though, but this is what I mean. I think that they are a very solid football team. Once it gets to the playoffs, they won a playoff game last year, right? Yeah. Against a very bad Eagles team that just went through it last season. And they held their own against the Lions, right? And at the end, Baker just throws a bad pick, which he didn't do a lot of last year in terms of ones that were his fault. I feel like they could, maybe. I feel like they just need a little bit more oomph. They need one or two more playmakers because their division should be a little bit more competitive, but their division was garbage last year. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Lord Taco, you are insane, my friend. You just subscribed to my Patreon.
Lord Taco!
One day when I'm on my deathbed and Carmi's there and she has no debt and she's like, thank you, Father, for putting me in such a great position in this world. I'll be like, it was Lord Taco who got you there. It was Lord Taco and his financial support. Anyway, sorry, that just popped up in my email.
No, you're good.
Lord Taco.
Hey.
All right. The Saints.
Go ahead, Perna. What are your thoughts on the Saints?
You know what? Honestly, I saw Derek Carr on the Pardon My Take podcast talking about how it looks like he wears eyeliner and how he got made fun of in school for it. And he owned it. He owned it. He has a good sense of humor about it. Now I'm pulling for him. I've never disliked Derek Carr.
Yeah.
And I like to base some of my predictions on how much I like a guy.
Tom Brady.
And now that he's not a Raider, he's in New Orleans. I'm high. I'm high on Derek Carr. Year 2 in the offense as well. They change offensive coordinator, right? Carmichael gone in Denver now with back to Sean Payton. That could be all they need to start cooking on offense.
Pretty great, Antonio.
Everybody loves Chris Olave. He's going high in the fantasy drafts. Alvin Kamara's getting a little older. He wanted a new contract. Is he still holding out? I don't know. I do not like that Jamal Williams is 3rd on the depth chart right now.
I love Jamal Williams.
And number 1.
By the way, did you see that Jamal Williams believes in Joe Hendry?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
It's just like, what's this offense going to look like with the new OC, right?
Yeah. I think so.
You know, Dennis Allen's not. It's Clint Kubiak. It's my man. Birthed from the loins of Gary.
So, here's where I am on the Saints. Like you said, Chris Olave, love it.
Carl
Shaheed
Granderson.
Speed, love it. I think the Saints for a very long time, well, it's not even I think, the Saints for a very long time have been kicking the can down the road. Every single year, they got cap issues. Every single year, they get over the cap and it's fine. But then their team is like, okay, what have you. What was it, 2 seasons ago? Their defense was so damn good. And then their offense was like, oh, we're a quarterback away. That's why I bring in Derek Carr. He'd be the guy that kind of puts us over the top, right? I just don't believe in the Saints because I think that they're another team that's a solid team, right? They'll be competitive, but they haven't blown it up. Like, they need to blow it up. And I think they've needed to blow it up for a while. And I don't think that Derek Carr is like the guy that's going to make your team substantially better because I think he needs more of a support system if your team is going to go far with Derek Carr. Like, I think the defense will still be good. The offense, man, I just have very, very little faith in the offense because they haven't done anything to it that's going to make me go, woohoo! Like, they get Olave and they get, like, I love Shaheed. I love some of their weapons. Kamara, if he's back to his prime, like, is going to be looking good. But yeah, man, like, I feel like they just need to blow it up. And I feel like because they got Derek Carr, I think that there is a ceiling on where you are unless you have a support system around him that's really going to elevate his play.
I think their offense will be better. I think it's going to be better. I think Kubiak
drafted O-line, which is good.
Is a better fit for what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fuaga's good.
You ain't wrong.
I think Chris Olave is a true number 1 receiver.
Sure.
I think Shaheed, a little underrated.
With speed.
I'm not saying it'll be like the best offense in the league.
No. I
like Rattler. I hope Rattler gets a chance at some point. But like Derek Carr had injuries last year too, right? He missed time.
Yeah, because he got hurt.
Carr miss time?
Yeah, well, I mean, he got hurt in the Packers game.
Yeah, he's a little banged up.
So with the O-line,
defense getting older, but
if the O-line is better, then the play will be better because Carr needs that protection. I mean, every quarterback does, but I think Carr in particular, he needs a little bit longer. And yeah, I don't know, man. That offense and Dennis Allen too. Like, I don't think he's worked there. I don't
he's on the hot seat this year.
I agree with the OC action. Like, maybe that changes a little bit, but Yeah, the play calling was so bad last year.
Hey.
It was awful. I would not be surprised if Spencer Rattler got a starter too. I would not be surprised at all.
I talked myself into Rattler as a Bronco this offseason. So
Yes, you did.
I like it. I think it's they drafted him in the perfect spot.
But it's this comment though. The division is so weak, right? Or is usually seen as weaker.
That's fair.
That because of that, they're like, we're going to be competitive every year. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you look at how the standings were. The Buccaneers were 9-8, the Saints were 9-8, and the Falcons were 7-10, and then the Panthers were 2-15. So the Panthers maybe a little bit more competitive this year.
Oh
The
my
Falcons, I definitely think will be more competitive this year. But I don't know if you're going to have like a far and away winner of that division that's going to like really stand out.
Bub means. I'm rooting for this man. I'm rooting for Bub. Bub means business, baby. This is the antithesis to dresser, all right? Bub means this motherfucker 1,200 yards if you give him the chance.
Hey,
Bub means.
means.
That's my man now.
that's it.
Get the
Now the
ball
Saints
to
are going to win the
Bub.
division. So
I want somebody who's a Saints fan to attend a game and make a sign that says, "Get Bub the ball, please," and get it on TV for us.
Or what if you do like Bub means winning, or like Bub, you know what I mean? Because can you just make a slogan?
I think
out
if
of
Bub
it?
means business, BMB.
There you go. That's what Bryce just said. Yeah, Bub means business.
Bub means business. I fucking
All right.
love Bub. It's on the
go.
record.
Let's go.
All right, we got the Falcons. They added Big Kirko. They added Penix. They got, I think Drake London going to have a huge uptick in production, assuming
God.
Kirk Cousins stays healthy, resumes form.
Is Kyle Pitts actually going to get the ball?
Kyle Pitts going to get ball. Going to get ball lots, Tom. Kirk knew how to feed his tight ends, and Kyle Pitts will not be hungry this season.
I'm not.
He will not be hungry. Falcons have a very nice offensive line. Bijan, oh my God. It's like, who sees the bigger uptick in production? Is it Bijan or is it Pitts? I don't know. You love the Falcons offense.
Not yet. Not yet.
You know, it's like maybe they could have used another receiver, but I like Darnell Mooney there. I thought Rondale Moore was pretty good in Arizona. If their defense is better and it improved last season, this is a good football team. Now, I do have concern about Kirk Cousins coming back from an Achilles tear. We don't have a lot of data on quarterbacks recovering from those injuries quickly and being effective. It hasn't happened a lot to quarterbacks, and we saw it happen to 2 quarterbacks last year. But I don't know, man. It's
No.
time will tell about the Penix pick. It's been beaten to death. We've talked about it to death.
Correct.
They could have added an impact playmaker, though, right? Maybe an edge guy. Who knows?
Yeah, pass rush I'm not sold on yet, but I did Jesse Bates. I love Jesse Bates. Yeah, it's going to
Terrell's
come down
great.
to that offense, and if Kirk Cousins can stay healthy, if Cousins is healthy all season, and he's just like a very solid quarterback, they're going to win football games.
Yeah.
They'll win.
They'll win some games for sure.
So do you think, I think right now, because there's the potential of the Vikings, good God, think about Kirk Cousins. They have the Falcons. It's between the Falcons and the Buccaneers for me for who wins the division.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to say the Buccaneers, Tom.
I was just about to say the Buccaneers. They gave me the sample size. I know they almost missed the playoffs last year, right? Like they went on a tear. They went on a run last year near the end, and they won a bunch of games that they needed to. Then they lost to the Saints, and they won like a god-awful game against the Panthers. I'm going to lean towards the Buccaneers, but the Falcons are right there, and I would not be surprised if they won it. I have the Falcons at 2, but a very close potential 1. They have Saints 3 and Panthers 4.
I'm using my Tom Brady metric for the Falcons. And the reason I'm going to choose Tampa Bay over Atlanta right now is because Baker is returning there. Cousins recovering from injury and joining a new team, right? And we saw it take Tom Brady about a half a season to really figure it out in Tampa, being a new quarterback there, working with Bruce Arians, like learning the chemistry with your new receivers. And as good as Cousins was playing last season before he got hurt, he is no Tom Brady. He's never been compared to Tom Brady. And if it took Brady half a season, my one question is, like, how long does it take before Kirk Cousins looks like he did last year? And there's a similar amount of really intriguing talent on the Falcons roster as there was on the Bucks when Tom got there. So that's the only thing that really gives me pause. Otherwise, like, if this was year 2 for Cousins on this same roster, I would be like, it's the Falcons' division to lose.
Yeah.
But that's why I got Bucks, Falcons, Saints, Panthers.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And I could see the Saints finish ahead of the Falcons pretty easily.
I can see that.
But by it's like one game, right?
Yeah, it's like last season. It's basically,
it's going to be close.
It's going to be really close. Yeah, I agree. I think that this division's going to be interesting. I think it's just, I find it funny that the AFC South, we're looking at it like, oh, this could be like a really, really good division. But even though we're in a weak NFC, I think, do you think that there's going to be 2 teams from the playoffs in this division? I don't think so. It's possible that maybe just because they beat up on each other a bit, and it's a weaker NFC, but I see 2 from the NFC North. I have the Packers and I have the Lions.
2 from the North, 2 from the West, I feel like is pretty easy.
Yeah, I think 2 from the West is very, very possible, 100%. Then you have the East, because you have Eagles and Cowboys, and then 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The NFC has gotten a lot better over like the last 3 years, right? I feel like a couple years ago we were talking about how it's anybody's division because the Packers were going to be good and the Buccaneers were going to be good.
Sure.
That was Rodgers, Brady. There wasn't like a ton of stellar competition. The Niners were going through their quarterback cycling and all that stuff. But it'd be a big surprise if 2 teams from the South got in. Now, you could make the argument because that division is worse.
Yes.
That 2 teams do just stand out, rack up wins. But I mean, you gotta be high on the Rams. You gotta be high on the Niners, the Packers, Lions. The East is what could also change there.
Mm-hmm.
We assume the Eagles will be good and the Cowboys will be good, but never know.
It's going to be interesting.
And hell, what if the Commanders are awesome with Jaden Daniels? What if he's just What if he was the best fucking rookie in the draft class? And there's a good chance he could be. So I don't know.
There you go. Perna, we did it. We made it through every division.
We did it.
Perna, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Oh, today we got a special episode.
Oh.
Is Andy Dalton the worst playoff quarterback ever?
Oof. Andy Dalton just out here catching all the
He's
strays.
catching strays.
Jeez, man. I don't even know if it's a stray. This seems like it's intentionally targeted.
I know it feels, but it's not. I did another episode about every sport's most losing our team with the most losses.
Yeah.
And I don't know where I stumbled on to the Andy Dalton and his postseason stat line.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he was 0-4 in the playoffs. And I was like, oh, shoot. He threw 1 touchdown to 6 picks in 4 playoff games. I'm like, that's really bad. I was like, let me look into this a little bit. Outplayed by TJ Yates in the first playoff game. TJ Yates was a 3rd string quarterback for the Texans. loses to the Chargers. Rivers completes 12 passes in the game to beat the. I was like, he might legitimately be the worst playoff quarterback of all time. So we kind of answered that question. Barks is finishing the edit. I got it to him late, so it's a good episode. It's a fun episode.
She's not gonna be happy.
No offense, Andy. Although I lost all respect for Andy Dalton when J.J. Watt made fun of him and he handled it like a child. But other than that, I root for you, Andy.
Like Andy Dalton.
What do you have, Tom?
I wrote it all out yesterday, so all I had to do is film it and edit it. So Patriots fan reaction is going to be out today. So then I think I only have 7 left. Thank God. Yeah, so I'll have 7 done, and then Q&As tonight as well.
Tight.
So
don't forget GPS podcasts linked below. Give us a star or review or whatever.
1 star.
Bullshit.
1 star.
Yeah. Can we have the most 1-star reviews of all of the sports podcasts?
Mm-hmm. That's it. But folks, we appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Monday? Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, should be.
All right, we'll see you on Monday.
We got Hall of Fame game next week.
Woo! The Hall of Fame game is great because it's like, oh my God, football, and you watch it for like 5 minutes, and you're like, I'll wait for the regular season. That's enough.
Yeah, you're like,
that's enough.
I'm watching nobody that I know.
Yeah, that's
except that one guy who went to that one college I like.
It's true. But folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS, and you have been navigated.
You've reached your destination.
Let's go, Yankees! Run that race! Run that race!
Whoa!